It's like eating small wood chips. The lining of your intestines is very sensitive tissue. It's been shown to damage the tissue.
Even like they're just tiny, minuscule, and they just
Even
take away the matter? Like, 'cause
they're not though. They're like a broom, as you just said.
Yeah.
They're scraping the intestine. I wouldn't consume this stuff. I wouldn't put anything in here that's not food. Okay? And there's no reason to. There's no reason to. Your body will eliminate the old hard matter. There's nothing you need to do. We don't want to manipulate the body or force it into doing something before it's ready to, and to do it by consuming something that doesn't even belong in the body. It might be injurious to us. We don't need to. The body does it all by itself. Okay? I mean, you can, let's see, I guess Ferdinand's the only one here now who's been eating for a while. Right? Hayden just started, and Brenda's just 3 days in. And Ferdinand's been eating now for more than 3 weeks. And you've eliminated a bunch of old stuff, haven't you? Hard stuff, stinky stuff.
Yeah, some during my fast and some during my first bout.
Right.
But
the point is, you didn't have to eat any psyllium husks to do that, or anything else. We typically don't need to do anything except get out of the body's way. And I mean, my firm belief is that the less we try to manipulate it, the better off we are, because every time we try to do that, we're creating unintended negative side effects. The body has this virtual infinite intelligence with regard to its own needs and processes. We just want to give it the opportunity it needs to cleanse and heal, and then watch the miracles happen, because they do. They will. Some of you weren't here when I last talked about this, so I'll mention very briefly. We only have a few minutes, but about a month ago, you've heard this before probably. About a month ago, I got an email from a woman who said, Loren, I'd like to do a consultation with you. I'm on the 10th day of my fast, and I'd like to get a consultation, make sure I'm on the right track. And so the first thing that happened was I said, she said, I'd like to do it as soon as possible. I said, okay, how about tomorrow morning at, whatever time? And she wrote back and said, no, I'm going to be busy for 3 or 4 hours then. So I said, oh, okay. So we finally scheduled a time, we spoke, and I said, so what were you doing this morning for 3 or 4 hours? She said, I was out shopping. On the 11th day of your fast, you're out shopping for 3 or 4 hours. It's like, well, yeah. I mean, I fasted like a dozen times. She'd heard me speak 15 years earlier at some tennis club in Redondo Beach, California, or somewhere in California. And she said, I've been following your work ever since. I started fasting as a result of that lecture that you gave. And, I've fasted as long as 30 days on my own. I said, okay. And she said, and I'm always active. I just stop eating. I continue living my normal life, but I stop eating. I said, okay. I said, and how much water do you drink? She said, you mean while I'm fasting? I said, well, how much water do you drink normally? She said, well, normally I might drink a glass or 2 a day. I said, and how much do you drink while you're fasting? I'll drink about 1 liter. I said, okay. And how do you drink? She said, what do you mean? I said, well, I get up in the morning, I'll drink a glass of water. Like in 3 or 5 minutes, I'll drink a glass of water. And I'll have another one later on. I said, okay. So we've identified a couple issues that you could probably improve here, right? 1, get in bed and stop moving around. You should be resting as much as possible. 2, you must sip water. 3, you probably need 3 to 4 liters per day. And she said, she was having some sort of abdominal symptom. And I said, well, that's old stuff in your body that's starting to move. Gas. She was having gas. I said, that's old stuff breaking down. She was like, what old stuff? I've been eating a really clean diet now for 15 years. I've fasted, 10 times. What old stuff? I said, well, you've never fasted properly. You got old stuff in there. She's like, I don't think so. So I said, well, look, you do whatever you like. You're paying me $100 for this consultation. My advice is try what I'm telling you, okay? Rest, sip water, 3 or 4 liters a day, see what happens. She emailed me 3 days later and said, I had 5 bowel movements yesterday. Old, hard, stinky material. She continued having multiple bowel movements every day. We spoke again 2 weeks later. It hadn't stopped, okay? Most people are walking around with 5 to 10 pounds. Some people weigh more than that. And we don't need to do anything except give the body a chance to break it down and hydrate it enough so that the body can eliminate it. And the less we get in the way, the better our results are going to be every single time. Okay, does that make some sense? Anybody have any questions, follow-up questions to that? No? I hope that's useful. I mean, this is a really important thing to remember because we are occupying these incredibly intelligent organisms, the human body. And they know exactly what they need to do. We just have to listen. Or at least if we're not getting the message from our body, maybe listen to someone who knows what needs to happen. Because it makes a huge difference for everybody. I had a young man in England maybe 6 months ago. And he said, his same thing is like, I don't think I have all this stuff in me. And he wound up eliminating a ton of old material, a ton of it. So I don't think I've ever seen anybody yet not eliminate old stuff if they fasted properly and long enough. Everyone's got it, and we don't need to do anything. And it's not just about this, it's really about everything. We want to think about, what does the body need? What would happen if we simply met the body's needs as well as possible? Nothing beyond that.